Hi, so I was meant to do the loops video to explain all the other loops, but then I came to a conclusion that some loops require knowledge of arrays. So instead of doing that, I'll just do arrays. And I actually showed an example of array in the little programming thing I showed earlier. So I was like, yeah, I might as well just talk about them now. I'll only talk about the basic bits, so I'll not mention anything like jagged arrays or anything like that and how they work. But yeah, so this is like the basic arrays and lists. So what is an array? It's think of it as a massive storage of a variable. So if we have an int and call it a number, this stores one number. It can't store multiple numbers. So if you think of a shelf, um, this currently is just a single shelf, but some shelves have multiple drawers, right? And each drawer would be an array. So it would look something like this. So this is called an array of numbers. This is a number, this is an array of numbers. Now, this is how we would declare. So this is how we will declare it. So we will have our int, we have the two brackets to show that it's an array. So it's many numbers, and then with an array, you have to initialize the size before you use it. So let's just say this particular shelf will have 5 drawers. So we'll type in int and we'll put 5 in. Now, because we have this now, we can now assign numbers to this with like this. So many numbers, and then we put 0, and then we're going to make it equal to 5, many numbers 1, and we're going to make it equal to 3, and then just go to console.writeLine, and we're going to show the result of first array spot is, and we're going to put many numbers, and we're going to put 0 in. And if we just ignore these guys for now, which is going to give us a 5. There we go. So if you guys remember the loop exercise from before, I'll have a loop and I can put our array, because our array is equal to 5. So we know, so this will loop 5 times. And what we can do here is we can manually, I guess, let's just do it this way. So many number, yeah, we'll just print every single number that we have. So instead of having a 0 here, is the result of, we can do plus and of I, and yeah, so yeah, and now if we press F5, there you go. So 3 by 3, and then everything else is unassigned, we didn't declare it, is a 0 0. Now there is a different way of assigning it besides this, so I'm just going to keep the for loop because we will use it, and we will do brackets like these, and now there you go. It gives us a little error because it wants us to have 5 numbers inside. So if we just put 53, 5, 7, 1, and finally 2, this disappears. If we try to have more, actually, there's going to be an error again. Yeah, there you go. So it has to be 5. Now, where are we? There we go. Prints every single number as we wanted it to. Now, of course, there is a way to initialize before. We, of course, just like we did this, we can actually do something like this. So console. I guess what we can do is console.writeLine, and then enter array size, and then just enable our number, and we'll do in.parse. Wait, nope. Number is equal to in.parse, and then Just going to put in R console.readline. So now we store our number. And then what we're just going to do here is we're actually going to make this equal to a number. And then let's just get rid of this for now. And we will do console.writeLine. The array size is plus, and we're going to use this guy here. So what length does it? Just counts how many there are. Let's put 8. There you go. Array size is 8. So yeah, and then the problem with this is that once you initialize it, it kind of stays. You can't keep changing the size over and over. So let's just say we declared it as 8, and if we then want to change it to a smaller one, it would be problematic. That's not what you want to do. And this is where lists come in. Lists are the dynamic version of arrays. They're slightly more costly, so you would prefer to use arrays. But if you don't know how big the size is going to be, then you want to convert. So if I just get rid of all of this mess for now, I will write a list int. So this is a bit how it differs from an array, and we're going to call it many numbers. And then we're going to make it equal to new. And as we see, there's an error. Now, the error is not that I wrote something wrong, it's just that we're actually missing something else. And that's this line over here. So if we just click here, it will automatically generate it. So that's because lists use just a different collection. I'm going to talk about these later on. So for now, I'm just going to leave it. All you have to know is that to get lists, you need systems.collections.generic. If you didn't have system, you couldn't make arrays or anything really. To put it into a more understandable way. So these work just like the other ones, but they let you do these things. So int, I'll just make an integer of a few numbers. So I'll have number 1, number 2, and number 3. And then I'll have, let's just actually give them a value. So this will be 12, this will be 7, and this will be 33. Now we'll do many numbers dot add, and we can individually add the number to populate the size of our array. So we can do, so instead of adding them all, let's just add number 3 and number 1, and then do console.writeLine, and then we're going to do the size of the list array is plus many numbers plus, and it's not length keyword, it's count. So for lists you count, for arrays you use length. Now let's give it a try. There we go, it's 2 because we added 2 elements in. And if we would like to for loop our many numbers dot count and display every number that we have, let's just do that. Components looped. There we go. And 0, 1. Now we can then add a number 2. And there you go, 0, 1, 2. So to get an array, you still follow the same way. So you just type in many numbers and you get the index number. So it could be 1, 0, 2, whatever. It can be greater. If it's greater, it's going to give you an error. Yeah, the order which you add it in is the order it's going to go. So this is the index number 0, this is the index number 1, and this is the index number 2. I think this is good enough for arrays and lists. And in the next video, I'll be using them to get some of the other loops done.